Hello everyone and welcome to our travesty. We're back in Rome and we're back in the Sistine Chapel. Because, well, I figured we've seen Giotto's Last Judgment, we really should take another look at Michelangelo's Last Judgment. We looked at the area where he painted hell, but we should really see the whole thing as well. Well, he did what Giotto did. He did what tradition prescribed. On the right of Christ are the righteous, and on the left of Christ are the sinners. The difference, of course, is that 200 years passed since Giotto. 200 years divides Giotto and Michelangelo, and a lot of things happen in 200 years.
Listen to you. You've come a long way.
A lot can happen in 7 days. Just read the Bible.
A lot of things happen in 20 years. Just think of our computers, what they were like 20 years ago. Well, Michelangelo made his computer rotate clockwise around the figure of Christ. The righteous go up, the sinners go down. And in the middle of the whole, he paints the mechanism that makes the whole thing move. And this mechanism consists of these celestial figures. The majority of them are blowing their horns, they're blowing into their wind instruments, but then the couple of fellows, they're reading from their books. Now, the tiny little paperback, that's the book that contains the names of the righteous. Obviously, there aren't that many. And then this enormous volume. He can't even hold it by himself. He needs help to hold it. And that's the volume that contains the names of the sinners. So as the fellow reads out the names of the righteous, they go up. And as the fellow reads out the names of the sinners, they go down. And all of that rotates clockwise around the figure of the divine conductor. But whether sinners or saints, deserving or undeserving, Michelangelo painted the majority of them in the nude. It took him 5 years to finish it, but no sooner did he finish it in 1541 that the political situation began to change. And with the political situation, also the aesthetic values. And the new political situation essentially put an end to Renaissance hedonism. And so after Michelangelo's death in 1564, all the exposed genitals were ordered to be painted over. Thank God, before that happened, there were a number of painters who made copies, who painted copies of the whole thing, which is how we know what was really there. And what was really there often was quite different, because not only they painted over the exposed genitals, one part of the Last Judgment was just completely destroyed, replastered, repainted. And that's the part that contained Saint Catherine of Alexandria and Saint Blaise. Now, Saint Catherine of Alexandria, according to the legend, was a beautiful maiden who attracted the attention of her emperor, but then she refused him, which, well, the emperor found that unreasonable, and he decided to execute her by breaking her body on a wheel. But the moment that wheel touched her body, the wheel itself broke, and that's why you see the broken wheel upon which she is supporting herself. And so, instead of that, she was beheaded. That's the legend. Michelangelo decided that she needs to have some pleasure for her pains, and he granted her Saint Blaise. Now, what Saint Blaise's faults were, we don't know. We know that he was beheaded as Saint Catherine was beheaded. Perhaps he too refused his body to an emperor. Again, we don't know, but possible that somewhat like Michelangelo would think about it, because otherwise why would he join these two together? I mean, there are tons of saints. But in any case, Michelangelo's Catherine was painted entirely in the nude, as she bent similarly to how she's bending now over her broken wheel, with her breasts suspended above the wheel. Now, Saint Blaise was garbed, but, well, clearly not for long, because his eyes were, in Michelangelo's version, directed not at the divine presence to his right, and not to his instrument of torture, but to Saint Catherine, the instrument of imminent pleasure. But this part of the wall was completely vandalized at the behest of a prudish pope. So Saint Catherine and Saint Blaise did not enjoy each other for long. So it seems that these star-crossed lovers have now twice incurred the wrath of the ruler of Rome. First of the Roman Emperor, and now of the Roman Pope. And well, look at them now. All spirit is gone out of them, and more is the pity, because surely one deserves some diversion even in heaven, where the truth is always found under the tree.